Hello, my audience on Dominus Nisi. This is a wonderful time to share great news about a topic that's really close to my heart. I have a wonderful guest here. So let me welcome him first and then talk to you about the topic, what I'm going to share with you. So welcome, Karan, to our show, Dominus Nisi.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So, Kran is here to share about his life story and then what he is going to do with that painful moments to become a powerful moment. I'm so excited to share that story because when I look at my journey, many of my powerful experience here is because of the painful experience that we had in our life. And then if you're listening to me, you may have similar experience. So let's talk why Karan is doing what he is doing. So let me ask you, where are you from actually, originally from which part of the world?
World. Right. Okay. So I'm Indian originally. Both my parents are Indian. I
Mhm.
was born in India. We moved around a little bit.
Mhm.
I did a lot of my childhood in New Zealand. So I
Okay.
went to primary school, middle school, and high school and university in New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
And at the age of 23, I moved here.
Yep.
So it's been
So
however,
you're a Kiwi mindset
yeah,
or
of your fruit salad. That's the
fruits
mix of
mixture?
things. Yeah,
Okay.
I've
Yeah.
collected little things from everywhere I've
Everywhere. Yeah.
been. Yeah.
Mm.
I'd like to say I'm Australian now.
Australian,
So
yeah.
yeah.
All right. So you're settling now in Melbourne and then doing a great thing. So I know some of your stories from your mother and then some from social media because you are becoming a great news in one of a big banner, I would say, which is the topic that I'm going to tell with my audience. That's what endometriosis. So what are you doing with endometriosis? And then well, what's the connection of that particular area of medical science? And then you are putting your whole life and whole energy for that great cause. So tell me about the reason behind it first, and then I'll tell what are you doing.
Sure. Yeah. Well, endometriosis is something that traditionally, typically is associated with women's health, and
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like endometriosis is something that affects everyone in society. It's not
Mm.
a women's thing.
Women's things, yeah.
Uh, we we've gone through all of these issues with women's women, how women are looked at
Yep.
in society. One of
Yes.
them being, women getting paid less,
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I think it's systemic.
The
If
system, yeah.
Yeah. So
But why? What's the interest on that particular topic for you? Because
yep,
I'm going to go live so that people can see you in Facebook as well.
yep.
So tell me, what is the main reason why you going with endometriosis as a topic?
So yeah, endometriosis has been close to home for me.
Mm-hmm.
My partner was recently diagnosed with endometriosis.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the only way to actually get diagnosed is to have surgery.
Yep.
So she had surgery and got diagnosed with endometriosis, and we had a very interesting last 6 months where I had to see her lifestyle completely change. She was is a professional dancer.
Mm.
So she uses her body a lot in the work that she does. And
Mm.
she's gone from someone that's being so physically active,
Yeah.
a bit like myself, very active, so I could relate with that,
Mm-hmm.
to being completely inactive. You're
Yeah.
just in bed. You're
Mm.
not able to even go up to make a cup of coffee.
Mm.
That debilitating nature of
Yeah.
the disease, you could call it, was something that I had to witness someone that I loved go through.
Mm.
And when I put myself in her shoes, I thought, what if this happened to me?
Mm.
And in a strange way, when I broke my foot earlier this year, I kind of got a slight sense of how debilitating something can be.
Yeah.
Um, Over the course of the months of her going through this pain and initially not being able to even know what the condition was. It was
Mm.
just pain. You should go to the doctors,
Yeah.
multiple tests, multiple, very expensive tests. Often, they'd say, we don't know what it is, but it may be this,
That
it may
one,
be
this
that.
scan, that
You
scan,
know,
MRI.
exactly.
Okay.
You do all these scans
Mhm.
and you're getting nowhere. You're
Okay.
paying all this money and you're getting nowhere. You can't go to work, so you're not making the money
Yeah.
to do it. It's like this revolving cycle of going nowhere.
Mm-mm.
Um, Eventually, what I was getting was
Mm-hmm.
women aren't being heard.
Yeah.
And some of the issues that they're going through and the pain that they're going through
Mm-hmm.
isn't being listened to by,
Yep.
I guess, traditional medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I was like, I was whenever I was having the conversation with you, I'm just trying to fix my Facebook Live as well. Sorry that I'm not looking at you, but I'm
that's fine.
listening. So you mentioned that you can feel her pain, but the point that you mentioned about our healthcare system is like if it is an emergency or it's a risk to your life, there are different activities here to make your progress very easily.
Yeah,
But this is not a life threatening, but it's impacting your life, especially your mental health and then your daily
exactly.
working times, or I would say that relationship. Can you share a little bit about that, especially being a dancer? And then personally, I know how painful it is in endometriosis and all other related trouble according
Yes.
to that.
Yeah.
And you may have migraine sometimes and then severe headache and can't even talk, be angry, all those things.
Yeah.
Tell me about how this impacted in your relationship.
Yeah, so you were spot on. It's all those things
Yeah.
encapsulated. It's not just the pain of the stomach, it's the headaches, the not being able to chat to people, being
Mm,
alone, feelings of not being able to assimilate with normal people,
mm,
missing out on social activities.
yeah.
Um, all of those things together combined. So that's why it's not just a women's health thing, because
Mm,
I feel like it in a strange way, it affected me too, right? It's
mm,
because I was living with this person.
mm,
This person is a very happy, positive, um, just a happy person
yeah.
going through something that's so painful that completely shifts the mindset and the
Mm,
emotion.
yeah.
Um, and I found that at that point, I said, no, this is more than just pain.
Mm,
This is like many layers of feelings.
mm,
And like you touched on the point, it's because it's two things. Half the population is affected by it, which is
mm,
women, and it's not on a priority list. You're not dying. It's
mm,
not you go to a hospital and you're not, they ask you what's the severity of the pain. It's
up to 10. What
yeah,
is it?
have some Panadols,
Okay.
have this painkiller.
Yeah.
How about now? Are you okay? You can go home, go do this test. And the test just reveals, it doesn't reveal that you have endometriosis. So
Mm,
again, it's this revolving door of going round and round in circles.
mm,
Um, and so I felt so helpless at that
mm,
point. And I think it was the helplessness that was really bothering me. And I think when we look at traditional roles of male and female, as a man, you're always, you grow up being
mm,
told you've got to look after your sister, your
mm,
parents. You've got to have these traditional roles. And men are generally conditioned. That's
mm.
what society tells
Yeah.
us. We've got to look after, we've got to care. Um, and the not being able to look after and not being able to help,
Mm,
or like you could say, not having the answer, that was troubling. And I
mm,
said to myself, okay, I may not have the answer,
yeah.
but what else can I do? And I've learned a lot from my partner.
Mm,
Sometimes I've been that person that has had to help. And she once told me, she's like, I don't need you to do anything. I just need you to sit here.
yeah.
And so I said, okay, I can just sit
Just
here.
that company, right?
Yeah, I can't
Maybe.
help. I don't have any answer.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit with you. I'll be on my phone. I'll do
Mm,
whatever I have to do, but I'll be with you. If
mm,
you need me, I'm here. That's all I can do.
yeah.
But then there was more. You can do more.
Mm,
Because through my frustration, I'm a very vocal person. So
yeah.
when people would
So you
ask
may be
me,
talking different things.
yeah, people would ask me, "How are you doing? I haven't seen you in so long," and I would just say,
Oh, I
I'm
can't.
feeling crap. I don't feel good at all. Like I'm a very positive person, but I
Yeah.
don't feel good. And I was like, well, you asked me how I felt. I'm going to be very honest.
Yeah.
And they'd ask me why, and I'd say, oh, my partner's got this problem. We don't know what it is, and often different people would say, has she tried this? Has she tried that? And it was frustrating at that
Lots
point
of
as well.
suggestions.
Yeah, lots of suggestions, but every other person that would, had endometriosis or knew someone who had it would say, I think it might be this.
Mm,
My best friend has it, or my sister had it, or my mom had it.
mm,
And through those conversations, I realized that someone knows someone in their circle that has this.
mm.
And everyone who's got it seems to be having the same issue, which
Mm.
is, not being heard,
Yeah.
not finding solutions, the frustration, the pain, all of those
Mm.
things were the same. It was the same answer from different groups of people. And I said, if it's affecting that many people,
Mm.
how come this is only the first time I'm hearing,
Mm.
right? And so I said to myself, okay, through whatever platform I have or whatever reach I can garner,
Mm.
I'll do my best to at least promote the word out there and say,
Yeah.
this is what's happening in our society. This is what's happening to women. This is
Mm.
what's happening to my partner.
Mhm.
Um, and how can we bring some more light into this? And what can we do as a society to sort of promote more funding into it for
Mm.
research? Because if you think about it, there's a test for everything.
Mm. Yeah.
Yet there's no test for endometriosis. You have to have surgery, like
Yeah, you need to
invasive
do,
surgery.
yes. Usually do
Like
the lab pro and then see whether, yeah.
exactly, and that's
Yeah.
the only way.
Oh,
Look, I'm not in the medical field, and I don't know anything about that. But to me, as a normal person, that sounds absurd. That
yeah.
that's the only way you can find out if you have
Okay.
it.
Yeah. So maybe like if you are listening here in live, I would be saying that uh, yeah, Karan is actually doing a great community support where women usually don't share or say openly because this is a private matter. The pain you have to suffer. That's the
Yeah.
generations are always asking us to do. And endometriosis is sort of connected to their menstruation as well. So if I'm saying that I have high menstruation bleeding and I have severe pain, that is sort of like you have to suffer it because you are a woman. It's part of your body structure. There's no point talking more about it. So in our generation, so I would say everybody, the society or the culture forced us to be silent on these type of things. The reason I'm saying this, when I was 15 years, I was having all this trouble back in India. There even the doctors won't do any treatments because you have to be virgin until your marriage,
Mm.
otherwise it will be a
Yeah.
bit complicated. So they always say that, oh, it will be okay after your delivery, so or after your marriage. That was first thing I heard, and then after delivery, and then it will be okay. So there was nothing really happening in the developing countries. If we come to the developed countries here, I was here from 2000, and then same as you mentioned, I was going through different treatments and figuring out what is wrong with me and what is happening. So I did a couple of laparoscopy to scrap this endometry
Yeah.
and then figure it out whether it's cancerous or not,
Yeah.
because that's the only way they can do. So the pain that you go through to identify what's happening in my body, at the same time the support that you need that time,
Mm.
because you are actually connecting that core part of a womanhood, that body part, and then that's so, I would say, so crappy mindset that time. So I can imagine how a partner can feel when you are helpless and then you can't really do much about that situation. So I'm so grateful from the whole womanhood around the world that you took that initiative to put some light to the outside world about how that's impacting not just the person who is suffering, but the person who is supporting. And then you are doing something great. So tell me about how are you supporting endometriosis Australia,
All right. So,
or
um,
any other stories before
yeah,
that?
no. I'm quite passionate about cycling. I love
Mhm.
cycling. I love exercise in general, but cycling
Mm.
is obviously something I've done as a kid.
Yep.
Um, and so I thought, what better way to do something good and get some eyes by riding my bike 4,000 kilometers from Perth to Sydney,
Mm.
solo, unsupported, like how all the women are going through this, unsupported quite often and feeling quite alone.
Lonely.
So as a way of solidarity, ride my bike across and sort of share content along the way each day as I go. I've teamed up with Endometriosis Australia,
Mm.
and the aim is to raise $10,000
Mm.
for research into endometriosis, but more importantly, to promote these conversations. And
Mhm.
I have a fantastic story to share.
Mhm.
On Sunday, I was at Albert Park just doing laps around.
Mhm.
on my bike, and a random person recognized me and said, "Are you the guy that's doing the endometriosis, right?" And I said,
Okay.
"Yeah, yeah, it is. I am that person." It was a really strange feeling, like to be
Mm.
recognized. Um, and I was taking photos at the time, and so
Mhm.
I ended up snapping a photo of, and that's how it kind
Mm.
of came about. So I told him, "Stop. I'll share those photos with you."
Mm.
He stopped. It was four men,
Mhm.
including myself, chatting about endometriosis, and he said, "My partner showed me your video that you
Mhm.
posted on Instagram about the ride. She also had endometriosis. She's done this, and he started telling me about the pills she was taking, and
Mhm.
then I said, "Oh, my partner's got this as well."
Mhm.
And I stopped for a second, and it was four men
Mhm.
talking about women's health, the issues that their partners were having, and what they were doing to help not only the men but the
Mhm.
partners.
Yes.
And I just took a step back and I looked around and I said, "This would never happen. This is not something that ever happens in men's circle." And it just led me back to the main point, which is to spread awareness, especially among men.
Mm.
If men can have these conversations and have, in a certain way, have an outlet, because
Mhm.
I felt like I didn't have an outlet. It's weird to say that, oh, my partner's got this problem and it's such a big deal without sounding like a real asshole, you know,
Yeah.
because it's not happening to me, the physical pain. So how can I complain about it?
Yeah.
But it is technically.
It
So
is.
I wanted that outlet for men too, but for men to actually be more sensitive in how they
Mm.
approach it. So it was
Exactly.
great. I've got this person on socials. His partner messaged me saying, "Has your partner got a pelvic floor specialist? I can
Mm.
recommend." And it's these kind of conversations. That's how
Mm.
you spread it. And yeah, and I just thought
Yeah,
that's
that's a very good way of connecting people because if you are telling something that really resonates to the other person, they will be like in a building that community, and then you can even help the whole people so like suffering through this thing because
togetherness, right?
yeah, it is not a disease that will be cured all on a sudden, and then as you mentioned, there is no real treatment as it is because they will be saying do this to reduce the pain or
Yeah.
reduce the endometrial thickness because that's what happening and we don't know why that thickness is
Yeah.
happening and then thickness is like if we say it's that it's a very minute thickness that growing and growing and then we don't know what's impacting so just to get an idea, I know that you are doing many different researches how we can eliminate or how we can bring this awareness on this particular topic. Do you have anything else that we can share with our audience suffering endometriosis?
Um, all I can say is to voice your concerns,
Mm.
to speak freely. I'll give you a classic example of how I thought. There was someone I worked with who
Mhm.
was sick quite often,
Mhm.
and there'd be something important that would happen, and then this person wouldn't show up to work,
Mhm.
and because of the silence on the actual disease,
Mhm.
I made up my mind that maybe this person wasn't the right fit.
Mhm.
Isn't going to be. I can't trust this person because maybe they're lazy, maybe they're not
Mhm.
into this job. Only to find out that once I started this whole
Mhm.
journey of advocating for it, that person actually had endometriosis. And as soon as someone said this person had endometriosis, and I was like, "Oh my God, I was so wrong."
Mhm.
Uh, 100%. This makes complete sense why she wasn't it. And it
Mhm.
really made me feel quite bad on the inside. And I said, well, if only she said, but she
Mhm.
obviously didn't feel comfortable enough to say it.
Yeah.
So I wanted to become the norm
Mhm.
because as I will document through my trip, um, people are going to find out that they will have someone with endometriosis in their close circle.
Mhm.
So it's only 1 or 2 degrees apart from most
Yeah.
people. It's not a their problem, it's a all of us problem. And we can all do something about it. And this is just the start.
Startup.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned, like, when you were having that fall and then taking rest at home, and then your partner suffering with endometriosis, and that two people suffering different
Yeah.
physical pain, making that big mental, like, connectedness in one way, but again, that pain over there. That's what I felt like your pain is becoming a power. So can you share, like, you did a solo trip already
Yep.
right after your accident.
Yep.
Tell me about your passion in that mountain biking, and then started this solo already. And then I heard like many different friends commented in different ways. So share with us, please.
Yeah, okay. So 2023, November, I was mountain biking up in Bright. So I like all facets of cycling, road cycling, mountain, everything. If it's two wheels, I love it. I was being a bit silly and doing big jumps. At my age, you probably don't want to do that, but I was like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing this. And we were bombing it down the hills, and I crashed my mountain bike, and I was in the hospital for, I think, 5 days. I had a
Mhm.
broken pelvis, a few broken ribs, a torn MCL. Like it was a
Mhm.
proper good injury. And I remember I must have either been in just a very, very happy place in my life, or the medication they gave me must have been perfect, because
Okay.
I was lying in bed just going,
Hmm.
it's okay. I was doing something I loved, and this is what happens. I accept the risk before I do it,
And
and I
then,
willingly choose to partake in this. So I don't feel bad that this happened to me. I've accepted the risk already. But it was those moments at the hospital. There wasn't that much help. I was there 5 days. I did not walk
mm,
until the day I was leaving. They said, you can be discharged. And I said, I haven't even gone to the toilet by myself.
mm,
How am I going to be discharged today? Um, and as they gave me this A-frame, like an old person, a very old person, I walked my way across to the toilet. It took me 5 minutes. And I
mm,
remember thinking in my head, I'm like, you'll do everything you can
mm.
to beat this, and you'll be back on the bike. And I could visualize being back on it so quickly. I got home, and through all of the resting, I had lots of time to think to myself about, all these activities. And people were like, you're too old to mountain bike. You shouldn't be doing risky things. And I said to myself, I should be doing exactly what I want to do. This is my
Mm.
life.
Yeah.
I'm doing things that make me happy. I'm doing things that make me so present that that's exactly what I should be doing.
Hmm.
And it was that moment in my head, I said to myself, I need to put my mind to whatever it is that I want to focus on.
Yeah.
And so I said, I'm going to ride my bike from Melbourne to Sydney. And I didn't really say it to anyone. I just said, you'll ride your bike as soon as you can. And so February the next year, so November, December, January, 3 months later, um, I packed my bag and my bike, and I decided I was going. I told my mom 2 days before I was leaving. She wasn't too happy about it. Um, and it was the power of believing. I said I can do it. I said I will do it. And I trained for the last 6 weeks to do that. That was what the mission was.
Yeah.
And so I'm applying those same principles now
Now,
in
yeah.
a very different way.
Mm,
But it has all come from pain in a way, because I
mm.
had a mountain bike accident then. I broke my foot this time in March,
Okay.
and
And
it was this time it was both pains. It was my
oh,
partner's pain, it was
pain
my
is
pain. It was
funny.
like I've done this before, I can do something better, I can achieve
Mm,
something greatness, but hey, let's do it for a better cause this time.
mm.
Don't do it just for yourself.
Yeah.
Do it for something that's a bit bigger than you.
Mm. Okay. How many days did you take for Melbourne to Sydney?
I did that in 5 days.
Okay. And then you did ride during the day and then rested. Is that right?
Yes, so it was that was the plan, and these things never go to plan. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to ride at night. I'm going to just ride in the
Mm,
day. It was summer, so the days were quite long.
mm,
But given it was summer, last year, 2024, Feb, there was a week that was incredibly hot. It
mm.
was like 40 degrees. Um, I'd already taken leave from work. I couldn't
You had
change
to
my
go.
annual leave. I was like, I have to go. And so what I then eventually what happened was I was waking up around 3 or 4,
Mm,
riding a lot of the in the dark
mm.
to avoid the sun. And so I'd finish my ride sort of just by 3 or 2 o'clock.
Afternoon.
So you'd still cop the heat, but your body adjusts to it
And then
eventually.
how do you find out shelter? You pre-book or?
I was going just along the way.
Oh,
I'd
okay.
see how I felt in the day. If it was a really, really hot day, if I needed to
Yeah.
stop. But generally, I had a rough idea, like this
What
is
do you?
probably where I'll make it.
Mm,
And just about a couple of hours before making it to my stop, I'd
yeah.
jump on booking.com and look, what can I book? And I just book it
So
along
how
the
did
way.
you communicate with your family while you were driving? Just, I mean, okay, I got here, I got in that
Yeah.
type of thing.
Well, my phone worked, fortunately.
Okay.
Sydney is it's not as
Yeah.
rural. But I also have a GPS tracker. So I sent,
Okay.
especially my mom, I sent her a link. I said, every
Yeah.
time you want to see where I am, just click this link and it will show you on the
Where
map
you
where
are.
it's, and it updates every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
That's
Oh, for the safety in that regard, yeah,
that's
people
really
will know where I can be.
okay. So tell us about your plan. So now you're going to Perth,
Yep,
flying,
yep,
and
okay.
then from there, tell me, I'm just a bit confused. Yes.
Yeah, so when I finished my ride to Sydney, I was posting a lot,
Yeah.
and people I hadn't met in a long time, old friends from school. Everyone's like, "Why are you doing this?" Or
And
people
just
saying,
right
"This is."
after the
Yeah,
accident.
people were saying, "This is incredible.
Mm,
I swear you were in crutches 2 weeks ago. What's happening?"
mm,
And at that moment, I realized, oh wow, people really do pay attention to this. When I finished and I got to Sydney, I was elated, absolutely so
mm,
happy. But I remember going, next time I do this, like I said, it's going to
mm,
be for a cause
mm.
and I'm going to do it properly, but I'm going to do it bigger, something bigger.
Yeah.
So I instantly knew, I didn't say it to anyone, but I knew I was going to do Perth to Sydney.
Mm.
And so this time around, it's Perth to Sydney. I will fly to Perth
Yeah.
on 1st of October,
Yeah.
spend some time with friends and my partners from Sydney, so her
Mm-hmm.
family. And on 6th of October, I'll take off on my bike
Mm-hmm.
and I will hope to get to Sydney on 26th. If I can get there
6
earlier,
to 26.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
if I can get there earlier, I will get there earlier.
Mm.
But yeah, 26th of October, roughly the date
That's the
of
day
in
that
20
we're going
days.
to welcome you in
Yeah,
Sydney. Yeah.
hopefully, yeah, hopefully you're there too.
So how about like, what's the plan for connecting with the media? So you just go different days and then you give us the update, how we
Um,
can follow you.
yeah, so I've mostly doing all of my social media is just Instagram. You
Mm.
can find me at Karan
The
Bangera.
youngsters are always on
Yeah,
Instagram.
I feel a
Like
bit
people
older.
like
Everyone's on TikTok now.
people like us, we need something in Facebook though.
Yeah, well, I do have Facebook.
Hmm.
It's connected, so I'm
Yeah,
sure
you
if
will
it's
get
on
some,
Instagram, it
you'll get the
connects to,
stories.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll get the stories.
Mm.
Every day, there's a few things I'm doing along the way. It's not
Mm.
only my journey every day, but it's every day there'll be a not so fun fact about endometriosis, so you
Mhm.
can spread more awareness to people
Yeah.
because it's not a fun thing, but it's still a fact.
Mhm.
And the second one is I'm actually reaching out. I have a lot of female friends, a lot of whom do actually have endometriosis.
Mhm.
Um, and like you mentioned as well at the
Yeah.
start, you said, you know, you just what I'm hearing is that women aren't being heard and the
Mm.
stories aren't being told.
Yeah.
And so I said, I'm gonna reach out to all of these friends or women that I know
Mm.
that have had it, and each of them can get one day
Mm.
like a slot to share their story, so people can reach them,
Mm.
uh, people can hear them,
Yeah.
and to the men in our society or other people, you can see how close it
Yeah.
is. It's actually, oh, this person has it. I didn't even know, but well,
Mm.
now you know. So, not so fun fact, someone's story, and then my story of actually
But
the
the
struggles of
experience.
actually riding across Australia.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm really sure that your partner will be really proud of you, and then she will be getting real outcome from that as well because it's only for her, or like the motivation is just her connection to your heart, right? If it is like so many other people are there suffering, but you're the one who had that first-hand experience of a highly active and motivated woman got this like we always say that woman got that blessing to become a mother, but along with that blessing we got all these
Yeah.
different medical issues happening, and end of the day if you are not getting a baby, all the issues are coming back to the family. So it's a good reason that you are giving the awareness, and then yeah, this is not anybody's fault, somehow it is happening,
Yeah.
and then medical science need to do more and more research on that one. So can you share a little bit about the connection between endometriosis Australia, that that the area that they're doing the research, and then what is their thoughts on maybe their future research plans and outcomes that they planning to?
Look, I don't know anything in particular about the
Mm.
research avenues that they're
Mm-hmm.
working on. I do know that they're working with certain universities that are
Mm-hmm.
doing different studies. I guess
Yeah.
it's like any PhD or master's
Yeah.
students. If they have a certain area that they're interested in, they
Yeah.
apply for some sort of grant.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
Mm.
For me, it's if I can pump in money into it towards it, so
That's
be
a
it.
good thing.
That's good enough for my
Mm.
end. It's not like I said, I'm not a medical. I'm not in that field. I won't
Yeah.
have any medical
Any
terms I
concerns?
can even.
Yeah,
Um,
that's totally fine because you totally believe that we need some remedy for this or like a awareness for it. And then
yeah,
I know that we discussed before the show as well. You're doing this for women. not even benefiting you. But you mentioned that there is lots of benefit to you as well. So
Yeah.
share what are the benefits that you're getting? I know that health-wise,
Yeah.
just like, assuming, and then your discipline that you are doing this preparations and your motivation. And I know that you're a town planner, but
Yeah.
you're planning your bike ride. But you tell me, what is the real perks, I would say, by
Yeah.
doing this wonderful ride?
Yeah, so yeah, you're exactly right. Everyone's saying, this is such a selfless thing. It's amazing. You're doing this for women. And I've had to stop and say, no, no, I'm doing this for myself too.
Mm.
There's a lot that I get from this. There's an intrinsic reward that comes from working really hard on something.
Mm.
When you tell yourself, I'm going to do something, and you follow a plan and you work towards it. Because I think in life, you can do we get told, you can do what you want if you put your mind to it. And
Mm.
it's just thrown around loosely, but very seldom do we get to actually put that into practice.
Mm.
So I've said, if I can do, if I can put my mind towards things I'm passionate about,
Mm.
I'll do whatever it takes to get to that.
Mm.
Right. Those qualities that you take from those passionate things that you're
Yeah.
doing, you can apply it to other
Mm.
parts of your life. So let's just say your work.
Mm.
You go to work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, you're doing your thing. It's the monotony of work.
Mm.
You can make those changes. I say to myself, Karan, if you're not happy with where you are in your life, you've done all these great things, or you're doing all these great things. You're showing yourself that you can set a goal,
Mm.
work towards it, and achieve it. Take
Yeah.
control of it.
Mm.
Why can't you do it with this? How about we just put one step in front of the other
Mm.
and try and work on it? So I think it's bigger than the fitness thing, and it's bigger than all of that. That's one of the biggest things I get.
Mm.
But along with that mindset change comes all these other things like having adventures.
Mm.
I love meeting new people. I love talking to people. So you meet all these people along the way, and it's incredible. I've met the coolest people through my travels.
Uh-huh.
I've met the coolest people on the road riding my bike. Uh, Kindness is everywhere,
Mhm.
right? Um, you have all these experiences, and also I'm a photographer. I
Mm.
get to take photos in all these places.
Nature.
So
Yeah.
it's travel, it's adventure, it's meeting people.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing is it's a mindset thing. It trains your body to do difficult things
Mm.
because if it was easy, everyone would do it. So if I can go out and do something that's really difficult that not everyone is doing, it's proving to myself because we in our society we can like society tells us you can't do this or like
Mm.
it's social media will teach you how to compare
Mm.
yourself to other people,
Yeah.
but in fact you should just be comparing yourself to yourself. Like
Mm.
I
Yeah.
couldn't do this last year, I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
I couldn't ride X amount of kilometers yesterday, but I can do it today.
Sure.
So it's a competition with myself,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a positive mindset, and it's probably going to help in all other parts of my life. I'll yet to figure it out.
Yeah. That's true because you are motivating yourself. You are becoming your own personal trainer. You are becoming your own planner, and then everything is happening. But you got a real good cause over there. I think that's where the motivation is coming up,
Yeah.
right? So,
I think, well, as a man, I understand the privilege that we have.
hmm,
And so I genuinely think that a man doing this versus a female doing it in a strange way, it's more meaningful or more impactful.
hmm,
And so that's a big part of it. I'm like, if a man can do it,
yeah.
we're gonna get some more like eyes on it. Or if he's doing it, why is he doing it? Like why would a guy do it? So that's why.
Yeah, I'm just curious to know, like, so you will be wearing with the endometriosis on your t-shirts and then people can really realize that you're doing this for, right?
Well, no, I won't be. I don't have a logo. I will have a little sticker on my bike that people
Okay.
can scan. But I've been very fortunate in that, like I mentioned to you
Mm-hmm.
earlier, I've had a lot of local businesses in Melbourne and also Australian businesses who've
Mm-hmm.
been very supportive. So one of the local companies in Melbourne is called Peddler.
Mm-hmm.
They're a cycling apparel brand.
Mm-hmm.
They've decided to sponsor all of my kit. So
Uh-huh.
I'll be wearing Peddler
Day
here
one.
from the start to the end and
Wow, that
after when I'm done as well, when I'm done riding, because they've been absolutely
it's there.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just told them this was an idea I have.
Mm.
I'm thinking of doing that. And they said, yep, we'll
They
help
will.
you. How can we help you? I hadn't even put up a video. I
Hmm.
hadn't put up nothing. I said to my partner, they don't even
Okay.
know if I can ride a bike. And so yeah, I'll be wearing
Okay.
peddler cycling apparel.
Okay, that's great. And I'm just thinking like how do you take your all other things? Is that you are on backpack and then riding
Um,
or just very minimum things?
Very minimal.
Okay.
We have something called bags for bikes.
Hmm.
There's a bag you can put behind your
Behind the
seat
seat, yeah.
in the frame. So ideally, I'll be just taking one set of clothes
Mm.
to just wear when I'm not in my cycling kit,
Yeah.
two sets of cycling kit, and everything else is just food and spares.
Yeah.
Because the aim is to basically ride for as long as I can in the
And
day, not at night
right.
this time. Um, and rest as much as possible when I'm not on the bike.
Mm.
So sleep and eat.
Eat.
Um, those two things you can do in any room. I'm not
Mm.
going to sleep in a tent.
Mm.
I will be stopping at
In a proper.
motels or hotels or whatever I can
Mm.
find. I'm still in the process of planning and reaching out.
Mm.
But there's not really much I need
Yeah.
because if I'm riding all day and if I'm sleeping all night,
You don't
I
need.
don't really need to carry that
Exactly.
much. Yeah.
And then your camera, your phone, your satellite thing.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you are a camera person. So how do you film yourself while driving? Like at that, you have that time lapse camera or?
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a new camera with me. I haven't bought it yet. I'm
Mhm.
gonna look at a 360 camera.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of captures everything.
Yeah.
It helps in that I don't have
And
to
even
set up
maybe a
my
drone.
I have a drone,
Okay.
but the idea is I would love to take it.
Okay.
But that's my last thing. If
Okay.
there's space, the drone comes.
Hmm.
Because if my bags can fit everything I need and there's still a bit more space, the drone will come. But it's not a necessity. If I have the
Necessary
360 camera, I can
camera,
still
that
make
it will.
something. I've
And
got
then
my
I think you can
phone.
put it on your
You can put on your
handle.
helmet
Yeah.
on the
On
bike. You
the
can
bike.
extend it on a pole. It can kind of look like
Yeah.
a drone. But I'll try to capture as much as I can. I'd love to have this as a memory,
Mhm.
years from now.
Yeah.
Not only for me, but also for other people.
You're motivating many people. And as I mentioned before, I would recommend you should help or coach people doing something similar. The youngsters are interested in bike ride and then doing this adventure. But if they know how to prepare themselves and what are the safety measures that they should be doing, and what is the training or the discipline that they need to do, and at the same time, when you fail, how do you come out of that?
Yeah,
And then like go and look at that your success or that motive and those things you need someone behind you to
yeah,
motivate and I can clearly see that if you motivating yourself you can motivate many other people so I would be like like wishing that you will become a coach on the something similar or
I've
a
never had
facilitator.
anyone tell me that, but
Yeah.
yeah,
So
that
we never know how this great event is helping women and at the same time the other younger generations because the cause is theirs and then the word will go around and then there will be different things will happen because going through this technology in this modern world, we can clearly see that hormones are playing a lot. And then the impact is not just obesity, but it's more on the imbalance of the hormone
Mhm.
that will clearly kick on this endometriosis and polycystic ovaries and then, birth rates and all different things. Whatever you're doing and then spending your time and energy for this research is an amazing, amazing thing. So coming back to you as a person, I can clearly see that this is a clear motivation for you. Your family is excited and supporting. And as a community, we are also really proud that you're doing this
Oh,
for
thank
us
you.
because many of our community people also going through the same suffering and then hearing about it and talking about it, it's also a healing journey for us. So thank you so much for doing that.
You're so welcome.
So, looking at my listeners, and then the show here is mainly to support the people who are spreading love, joy, and peace. And you obviously doing that, and then doing for many other people. And then you are speaking for the people who are already silenced because of the culture and the generation or generational trauma. So, I just want to check with you what is a message that you can share with our listeners to that, that spread that love, joy, and peace.
Yeah, okay. There's many. I could probably go on for hours on this. But
Please.
some of my key takeaways are you've got to love yourself first
Yeah.
to begin to spread that. If you don't see yourself in a positive light, you're not going to share positivity with
Yeah.
anyone, right? Intrinsically, as humans, I genuinely believe that we are all good. Everyone is good and good exists everywhere. And I've seen this firsthand. I've experienced, that's why I said in my travels when I was younger, I would just travel overseas, and the amount of times where I've either lost my passport, didn't have accommodation, lost bags,
Yeah.
or just needed help, and people would just show up in many, many different ways. Cycling on the road, like I said, it's always kindness. People stop for water. What are you doing, mate? It's 40 degrees outside. Get in the car. We'll take you. In a normal context, no one would. They'd see me walk on the street here. No one would offer me a ride somewhere. So I think intrinsically we all have good, and good comes out of like passing it on. So you pass on the favor to other people. And when you actually feel good about yourself and you achieve the things you want to achieve, you put your mind to it. I think the positivity from within you then spreads outside. So if you can become optimistic, you can have all these other things. I think if you're not at that place where you're feeling good about yourself and you're not able to share that, I'd say try find someone who can deliver that, or try find something, the peace or positivity or happiness. One of the greatest examples is people would ask me, "Oh, I want to lose weight." Before I started cycling, I used to go to the gym a lot. I want to lose weight. I want to do the same things. Like, I want to look how you look. But I hate going to the gym. And I'm like, why are you going to the gym? If you hate doing it, why are you doing it? I can understand a challenge. Like you don't like it today, but overall you like something. Don't do the things you don't really like. If it's really bringing you so much, angst, and you don't like it that much, don't do it. Don't put your energy. We don't have that much time on this earth.
Yeah.
Do the things that you want to do, right? So if you say you're going to do it, go do that thing. It'll make you happy, and do it when you can. People are telling me, my parents were one of them. You know, oh,
Your
you're
mom
just traveling. You're just traveling
volunteering.
all the time. Yeah, mom. You're just traveling all the time. You got to save your money and this and that and this and that.
Buy the house and do this and do
You
that.
buy all of that. I bought the house. It didn't make me happy.
Yeah.
I got the degree.
Mm.
I'm in this 9 to 5 job. It's making me that? No, it's not. I'm achieving things,
Yeah.
but it's not bringing me anywhere the amount of I guess happiness that I got when I quit my job and I went traveling for all those months. Decided I was going to ride my bike to Sydney. Those feelings that I got,
It's
they're
real.
just not replicable when you do things that you're not really fully into.
Enjoying.
So my positivity and optimism and all these things come from the ability to say, I'm going to do this. Thank you for all your comments and your negativity, whatever it is, but I'm going to do it and I have to do it for myself, right? Once I have that, I feel all these emotions in all these certain ways. I just want other people to feel that too. So then I just say, oh, you can do it too. Don't do that. Do this. You can do it too. So just spread the positivity. So start with yourself, get positive, feel happy about it, and then you'll just see everything
It's
change
coming
around
in.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. It's a great message if you're hearing us. That mindset is always the matter because she was like, he was like on bed that time. He was okay and accepting because you were doing something that you really loved, and that's what, and then was taking that risk as well. So you accepted that brokenness, but from there you built yourself to do the same thing, but in a better version, better
Yeah.
ways. And now after that experience, doing something good for other people. So it's an amazing journey. So if you feel like that's great and then you feel motivated, I really would love to hear from you. So this is Bismi Palati, and I'm so happy to hear lots of people in our Facebook: Sheija, Rose, Jennifer, Anthony, Alex, Yvette, Shubha. Lots of people were there, and thank you for listening to us. And this show is actually bringing people who are spreading love, joy, and peace, and then sticking with that core values. So that's what I'm doing as well. So if you think that you have a passion, go for it. That's what Karan is doing and enjoying it, and then doing it for other people. So this show is only for you to spread love, joy, and peace. We will bring another wonderful guest next week. to motivate you in your world. This is Bismi Palati on your favorite show, Dominus Nisi, on 88.9 FM. We will come back again, but right after now, we got a wonderful song for you. Thank you.